Hey, welcome back. This is Drew again. Going over a couple things with Mastery Connect. Last time we went into assessments inside of our trackers and we put in scores manually. So I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance just in case you hear my wife and my kids. It's bath time. But anyway, we'll try to get past that. So when we're looking at assessments, we went in and obviously I'm at my home page here. We go into trackers and went in and created the tracker. Now, like I was saying in the other videos, these two trackers that I've created for my own personal classes, they have 4% of the standards, even though I've already done 1 out of the 5. So it would say that 20%, because right now I have, just like this class, I have assessed 1 out of the 5 standards, which is 20%. So what we did is last time we put in assessments using manual terms, where I went in assessment just to review for a minute, and I went in and even we took a look at the data too, kind of what it was saying, and went in and kind of did these things. And I'm just moving around with my arrow keys. It'll let me go in and move however I want to. It's very simple, similar to what your gradebook or Microsoft Excel or something like that would be like. All right, so let's say they all master that. That's great. So I went in and I did these manually. So I'm going to show you how you can go in and you can assess your kids. Like this version, if you went in, it was if you printed it off, went in and you did it manually yourself after you graded it. So then there's another way to do it, and I'm going to go in. I'm going to go back to my tracker here in the middle, and I'm going to go to the next standard, and I'm going to assess it. SL3, speaking and listening. So go in, and you can obviously see I already have an assessment here because of my tab, and it's combining sentences. So I can go in, and one of the quickest way, if you're 3 through 5, which this is a 5th grade class, you can go in and do this. Now, if you're K1, 2, and you don't have one-to-one laptops, like a lot of places don't, then this may not be a good option for you. You may want to go the route where you grade what they're doing, especially in kindergarten, in 1st grade. See what they're doing, then log it in yourself. So that'd be more apt for y'all and some 2nd grade classes that don't have access to computers or only have them partial of the time. So I can go in, and since this is a multiple choice test, I can see I have my degrees of mastery here, and I go in and I assess. Now, what it's going to do is it's going to pop up this screen, and it says combining sentences. Assess online with this test ID. Well, what you can do is you can have the kids, if you're 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade, or if you're one-to-one laptops, or if you're in the lab that day, if you're kindergartner, or if you have some kind of mobile lab, then you can go in and you can tell students to go to student.masteryconnect.com. Well, when they go in, it's automatically going to pull up a section, and hopefully I can go in here and I can show you what that looks like. Navigate to, boom, there it goes, pops out. And what it's going to do is it's going to navigate to this screen, and they take this code that they just randomly generate for you, and they put it inside here, and they can take the test online. So let me see if I can go ahead and just highlight that for us real quick. Command C, Command V, quick copy and paste, hit next. All right, well, it won't let me in because obviously I have it open on my other screen. They'll go in and they'll put that test ID in. Oh, I'm sorry. Then they put in their student ID, which I want to say one of them is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Click in. All right, and you can see that's Thomas here. And he goes in and he can say, all right, it's A, B, C, 10 questions, D, A. I'm just guessing here, just for sake of time. And then go through and D, B, sorry, bear with me. And then D here. And then finished. Well, what it does is it says, all right, I'm done. Once you submit, you won't be able to change or anything. No, I'm not done yet. Hey, I want to go back and I want to check my answers. So he goes back and he checks. But the cool thing is he can scroll down on this side. So it's similar to, I know the Milestones platform when I was teaching 3rd grade is similar to this. Anyway, I mean, obviously it looks different, but then it goes through here and you can see the questions as you scroll down and you can answer, and you can always go back and check if you want to. So finished. Yes, I want to submit my answers. I'm done. All right, he got 2 out of 10 correct, so he needs remediation. All right, so click, he's done. All right, it pops out. Here's the test ID, just in case, like if you're in kindergarten or something like that, they can go to the computer, like say you have it as a center, or you're in the computer lab or something like that. You can have kids rotate or something like that. So I can click next. A different kid puts in their ID, which I think was Sophia, was something like this. Click in, Sophia May, right? She goes through, takes the test, goes through the same process. So I'm going to X out of this, and that's your test ID. So that's a good way to grade it, and it automatically, see, it automatically puts Thomas right in there. I see that he needs remediation. And I can also, like after he's done, I can launch the performance grader. I go in, and it actually shows me my kids. It shows me their answers, what particular questions they missed, and then I can go down and I can see what. Oh, okay, well, he missed number 7. The best way to choose, with chicken salad. So, gonna hide that. Now here's the next one. Now if you're fourth, fifth, third, fourth, and fifth, or you have one-to-one technology or something like that, or centers or something like that in kindergarten, first or second, you can use that other way. But that mainly works with multiple choice. You can go through and do that kind of stuff, because a lot of things may be open-ended. If you're an ELA teacher or writing or something like that, you may have to do some open-ended, grade it yourself, and insert it manually like we did last time. Well, what I'm going to do this time is, let's say I print off its multiple choice, and I want to give them bubble sheets. I want them to bubble in, or I use the old school Scantron machine uh, that we used to use. So you can go in and you can do something simpler, Scantron. If you like Scantron test, that's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. But if you're doing straight multiple choice just to get a quick read on what they know, then there's a way to do that as well. And what I can do is I can hover over my drop box right here, and I can see answer key, reports, print bubble sheet. So you can go in and you can print bubble sheets for this class, no matter how long it's going to be. I can scan the scores, I can export the scores to Excel, and do all those things. So what I'm going to do is, I've already printed off one, and I'll show you how to do that. So we're going to print bubble sheets. It automatically fills in their IDs, it fills in their names and all that kind of stuff. Now, if you've seen bubble sheets before, if I go back to trackers, just real quick detour here, I can go to bubble sheets and I can print extra ones if I want. But I don't need to do that for this class. So I X out, go to reading. I'm on SL3. I'm going to assess. Then I go into my drop down right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do print bubble sheets. Yes, I want to include the student ID numbers, because that way it goes straight to the student. It logs it for me. I want to include the assessment name. Yes, it's combining sentences, so it knows where to put it. And the teacher's name. I want to make sure that it goes under me. So what I can do is I can either download the bubble sheets, or I want to print them. Well, in this case, not everybody has a laptop or something like that. So we'll go ahead and we'll print off bubble sheets. Well, this will pop up. Obviously, to print off to your printer, school printer. It looks blank here, but it will actually show up, and it will have theirs on there. So I'll just do like a custom one here, and I want to go 1. All right, so I go in, and it will actually show up, and their names will come out of that. So let's see, let's go in. Sorry, combining sentences. Oh, I have Andy. All right, I want to print bubble sheet. Yes, I want to include all of that, and go in, and what it will do is it will generate their name up here and their bubble sheet. She has already created one. I've already created one for Thomas, excuse me. So we'll go in, and what I'll do now is, Andy's I've already graded, but I'm going to take that off. And when I click off of it, it's going to say, hey, do you want to unscore the reopened assessment for Thomas? Yes, I want to unscore it, because I scored him when he went through and did the test. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to score Andy. So I go in, and I can do this a couple different ways. I can launch the performance grader, go in, it's under Andy Allen, and I can scan the bubble sheets that way. Or I can simply just, excuse my attire here, but you're going to get to see me. So a teacher can have this on their desktop or whatever else that they're looking at. They can pull this up, and the kids can come by and scan as they go through. So they simply just hold up the bubble sheet. It does say combining sentences, Andy Allen. It has her ID number on it. Things like that. You'll see it as I get it closer. And it just calculates it real quick. Scan, scan, scan. Well, it worked the first time. It usually doesn't take this long. Let me disable the camera real quick. Turn the camera back on. All right, combining sentences. Scan my 10 questions. It should scan them. All right, so that way it wasn't working. So let's go back in. I'm going to take Andy. I'm going to launch the Performance Center, and I'm going to scan the bubble sheet. Which is nice. This gives me a little bit bigger camera so I can get into it a little bit. So see, I mean, you'll just have to fight that off a little bit. I mean, if it doesn't work on that one page, you always have another option. That's the good thing about Master Connect, is going back to it there. But you can see that as I scan it, boom, it scans it right in. It scans it as Andy Allen. Hey, she got 9 out of 10. That's great. I'm not going to edit any of her answers. She's 9 out of 10. She's mastered. So then I can close that out, and boom, it automatically has Andy already done for you. You don't have to manually do anything. The kids just come by. I mean, even if you had this up, you wouldn't want the kids to see the score. They can't see the answers. But this is where you have to be careful with privacy. Is you could come in and say, all right, well, I'm gonna do another scan sheet. Well, then Sophia comes by and she scans her, so they could scan them on your camera right there. So that's a good way to get the bubble sheets in. I'm sorry for that delay on the one camera there. But that's a good way to get those bubble sheets in to and you can automatically log. Saves you a lot of time, especially if you're doing multiple choice. So if you decide to do a CFA that's multiple choice or something like that, not as open-ended, then this would be a great option.